Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you're well. It is Monday, the 24th of March, 2025. For centuries, Scotland's future has been decided by others, by monarchs, by parliaments, by those who never sought the will of the Scottish people to do so. Even when we have secured mandates through elections, Westminster has ignored them, refused to endorse them, to allow them to be acted upon. No matter how many times Scotland has voted for independent supporting parties, the powers that be continue to deny us our right to self-determination. But what if there was a way for those who voted yes in 2014 and those who have come to yes since to express their belief in independence in a way that cannot be dismissed, ignored, or lost in party politics? A way that is personal, a way that is undeniable, a way that lifts an individual's right to self-determination above political rivalries and internal divisions within the independence movement. Recently, I met with Mike Fenwick, the driving force behind the declaration of a Sovereign Scot initiative, which is a personal declaration of sovereignty and your withdrawal of consent for the Union. For years, Mike has worked tirelessly on his own to ensure that Scots have a way to personally assert their belief in individual sovereignty and liberty, not through a vote that Westminster can reject, not through a petition that can be ignored, but through a signed declaration of sovereignty, a formal and permanent record of our will. At rallies, at marches across Scotland, he's invited Yes supporters to sign a declaration stating that they do not consent to the Union. Each signature represents an individual taking ownership of their own sovereignty, not as part of a political party, not as part of a campaign, but a personal declaration of self-determination. Mike and I had a great discussion when we met. When we got talking about the state of the independence movement, we both recognised a fundamental truth. Our liberty, our independence, will not be won through political entities and mass campaigns alone. Yes, these efforts will push the cause forward, but ultimately independence will be decided upon and ratified by the Scottish people. It must be a decision that Scots make for themselves, not one we wait for Westminster to allow, or for Holyrood to merely demand that we have the right to make it. We just make it, plain and simple. Mike has carried this movement forward as an army of one, building a vision that extends far beyond the declaration itself. Mike now believes it's time for others to step up to help gather more signatures and spread the initiative and ensure that sovereign Scots across the country can make their voices heard. He has put out a call to action to all the Yes groups across Scotland, urging them to get involved. As an activist in the digital side of the independence movement, I volunteered Saorsa, our wee team, to assist in this initiative, and I now have 100 blank declarations to be signed and collected upon completion of signatures by Mike. So what exactly is the declaration of a Sovereign Scot? This initiative is simple but powerful. It is not a political campaign, it's not a party-driven movement, and is not a request for permission. It's a direct assertion that you as an individual believe Scotland should be independent. Your signature is a declaration that you reject the Union, that you recognise Scotland's sovereignty, and that you're ready to see that sovereignty acknowledged on the international stage. What then is Scottish sovereignty? Sovereignty is the absolute right of a nation to govern itself without interference, without permission, without control from another state. The declaration of Arbroath established that the people of Scotland, not kings or rulers, are the true sovereign power of this nation. And it states, as long as 100 of us remain alive, we will never, on any conditions, be subjected to the lordship of the English. For centuries, Westminster has sought to erase that truth through the Treaty of the Union, through the Scotland Act in 1998, and through legal barriers like the UK Supreme Court ruling, which has confirmed that Scotland has no right to hold a referendum without Westminster's approval. But sovereignty is not given, it's asserted. Every Scot who signs the declaration of a Sovereign Scot is asserting their sovereignty in a way that cannot be ignored. What does signing the declaration actually mean then? Well, consider this. A referendum is a single moment, one that Westminster can block, dismiss, or ignore. A ballot can be cast, counted, and forgotten, but a signed declaration, a name, a statement, a belief recorded and lodged with the United Nations is permanent. It's a personal act of sovereignty, an act that states, I do not consent to the Union. I do not accept Westminster's control over Scotland. I recognise my nation's right to self-determination. Every signature is a piece of history, a growing, undeniable record of the will of the Scottish people. So why is this not political? This initiative is not about party politics. It's not tied to the SNP, ALPA, or the Greens, or any other political movement. It's about the people of Scotland, beyond elections, beyond political debate, and beyond party divisions. Scotland's right to be independent is not a party issue, it's a fundamental truth. Whether you vote SNP, Labour, Conservative, Lib Dems, or any party at all, if you believe that Scotland should be independent, then this initiative is for you. Each signature brings us closer to proving that Scotland's sovereignty is not just an idea, it's a reality. One by one, we are showing the world that Scotland does not need permission to be free. And as more yes groups get involved, as more of us that are part of the 45% from 2014 realise there is another powerful way to express our right to self-determination, you will find that more people will sign it and will become a tsunami expressing the will of the Scottish people. If you're a yes group, you need to get in touch with Mike to get 100 of these declarations. 100 declarations, and then get them signed. 100 signatures may sound like a lot, but truly, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. And as an activist, getting these 100 declarations signed by those indie folk you know will be easier than you think. 100 seems to be a recurring theme in our history, doesn't it? Mike will be attending the marches this summer, and I'll be standing beside him at the rally ground with my bullhorn shouting to you all to come and sign the Declaration of a Sovereign Scot. He will also be travelling around Scotland and will make it known well in advance the where and when he will be. Now, for those in Edinburgh and around the Lothians willing to sign the declaration, let me know, as I will happily come and meet up with you and let you sign one of my 100 declarations. Also, I will be doing my bit in a public location in Edinburgh soon, looking to have you come and sign the declaration by meeting me there. This date and time will have to be planned in advance because, my life dynamic with my family and work, etc., has to take precedence over this. However, meeting with yes groups or other independence groups in and around Edinburgh who want to declare their sovereignty, get in touch by simply emailing me with your details, mo@sourcescot.com, and I can arrange to come and meet you guys, or you can come and meet me, and we can get these things signed. Also, please follow Independence Live on Facebook, as this is where Mike will drop his locations and dates as he tours across Scotland. Signing the declaration is easy, and it will have a massive impact as we travel further down the road to independence. Now, here's the kicker. If you're a true believer in our sovereignty and our liberty, and you're questioning if you should or should not sign this, then perhaps the real question you should be asking yourself is this: do I actually want my nation to have the right of self-determination? Do I want independence? By not signing it, you may just allow our cause to fade away to a footnote into the larger history of our planet. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Liberation Scot and Salvo. That's going to be a really good one. Please come back tomorrow and watch the video then. You have a great Monday.